Greetings, everybody, and welcome to Mego Museum's Mint Off Card. I am Brian, your host, and our subject this week is something of great interest to me. It is the 8-inch Type S white skeleton body, which is available at figurestoycompany.com or at classictvtoys.com. I've always kind of loved the idea of a skeleton action figure, harkening back to the Zodiac Toys, Evil Commando, and Evil Cowboys figures that I'm obsessed with, and I've done a video of that I'll share right here. And you had other cool toy lines like the Nightmare Warriors by Multiple, and of course iconic figures like the Ghost of Captain Kidd from the Matchbox Fighting Furies line, and, a guy named Skeletor, perhaps you've heard of him. So, yeah, I really love the concept of skeleton action figures. And, of course, these are just bodies. They don't come on cards, so this is hard for me to rate the packaging. It is just a clear plastic bag. So I decided to do something a little different with this episode. I'll still do the silly montage to showcase, the Poseability and the various ideas I had for it. And after the break, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share a couple of customs that I've put together using these bodies. That's what they're there for. It really was like which idea I wanted to jump on first. And I had a couple of things that really jumped out at me that I think you're going to really like. So without further ado, let's have a silly montage and then let's get customizing, shall we? Hang tight. There you have them, the Type S skeletons from Figures Toy Company. They are really good at making dead characters. The first custom that I wanted to do with these guys was based on this comic cover. This was Mystery in Space, issue 116, and the story was called Burnt Offerings. And this is one of those comics I got as a kid, and I think I got it like in a 3-pack, and I wasn't expecting to get this, and I really find this cover iconic, and I've kind of been obsessed with dead astronauts ever since. It's just kind of an interesting look. I'm still kind of fiddling and tweaking with this guy. I eventually will spray paint the yellow Space 1999 helmet white to kind of be a more uniform, but I'm getting there. And if you're not aware, I got all these parts and pieces over at classictvtoys.com. They they do have some really good figure accessories, especially in the astronaut department. And yes, I put a little bit of a wash on the head to give it more of a decrepit look. These figures are selling these unpainted, there's no detailing on them, and that's probably the best case scenario because it's very easy to pick up a brush and make it look the way you want. For my other custom, I did a little more modification. For a long time now, I've wanted to make a Knights of Templar figure from the Blind Dead series. If you're not familiar with the Blind Dead movies, you should be. They're really awesome Spanish horror films produced in the 1970s about zombie knights coming back from the dead to seek revenge, and I highly recommend them. While I think that the figure's toy skeleton is really well sculpted, there's a kind of like friendliness to it, whereas the Knights of Templar, that they look a little more evil, a little foreboding. And so what I did was I found this other dollar store skeleton figure I had, which does not have as nice an articulation, but its head sculpt is a little more sinister, a little more cartoonish than the, accurate and realistic Figures Toy Company version. So for this custom, I chose it over the FTC head. However, the body just can't be compared. It's just so much better. So I did basically a swap. It took a little doing, and I think I'm going to have to get a proper Type S adapter to make it work properly. But right now, temporarily, this works. And yeah, I added a little bit of fur. I painted the head, and we've got a Templar Knight that will either kill you, drink your blood, or eat you, depending on which sequel you're watching. I don't think there's a lot of continuity between those movies, but they are a blast. So there you have it, folks. The Type S skeletons from Figures Toy Company. I really hope that they expand this to a glow-in-the-dark offering soon. I think that would just be gangbusters. Otherwise, though, this is really a great figure. I highly recommend it. They're available right now at figurestoycompany.com and at classictvtoys.com. Before I go, I'd love to ask you a question. What character would you make using this Type S skeleton? You can let me know in the comments below. Hit me up in our Facebook group, Mego Mania, or at the forums at megomuseum.com. My username is Palatoy. Thank you as always for watching. If you're new to this, please consider hitting like and subscribe. I do stuff like this every week. If you're not new, please consider hitting like and sharing with a friend. It really helps me out. That's all I got today. I hope you've enjoyed it. As always, buy what you like. Cheers.